What are we? What are we in fake town? Jesus.
I saw it.
I mean, like, you know,
I didn't even read that time.
I watched it.
Taxi?
you know,
What?
it's a black
You just asked
couch.
if we were fake taxi.
Yes, I did just ask if we
It's
were
a
fake
black
taxi.
couch. It's a black couch.
I'm a big fake taxi guy.
I get it. Black couch. Got it. I got nervous.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Come on.
Not fucking me.
Alright guys, it's the rundown. Got the same cast we always had. No changes. Expect everything to go the same as it always does. Go to Barstool. What's the store called? What's the website?
It's literally store.barstoolsports.com.
I didn't know where the store was. Store.barstoolsports.com. Get a shirt, get a flag, buy some gear, look great.
Blue and gold Saturdays for the Irish t-shirts.
Still not sold on whether or not that's gold. To each their own. I think we proved last week that it's neither gold nor maize.
Really?
Did you watch
Isn't-
our own rundown?
Isn't maize the Michigan?
That's what I've been trying to
that's-
say.
that's
Okay,
the
because
issue.
that's a very yellow. And
Yeah.
the shirts are not like yellow.
The ones in the store?
Yeah,
You've seen them.
I have one.
One of the Saturdays for the Irish?
Yes.
No, not the Saturdays for the Irish
Oh.
one.
This is just the Saturdays for the. They sold out of the Saturdays for the Irish one.
Oh, okay.
We're trying to get them back.
So the rankings just came out.
All right.
This
And
is We just watched them.
I was just blocking that out, but thanks.
we're going to have to talk about it. We're going to have to think about it, even if we don't want to.
But I think more importantly, the first thing we want to talk about is the elephant in the room.
So a game happened this weekend. Results also happened. You guys are already aware. So Notre Dame fell down to 8th in the rankings, ahead of Ohio State, ahead of Penn State. Huge. That's all that. I mean, a lot of things matter, but that's right up there. We're coming in right behind Georgia now, so that win's not looking as great as it did before. That loss, I should say. I wish it was a win. Still not a bad loss. Loss to Miami was a bit of a bad loss, although on the road. Now the new number 3 team, so
I'm going to go above a bit of a bad loss.
It was horrible. I was depressed.
I mean, I might have already started blacking, but what did they put up on us before we scored for the first time? Wasn't it 21-0?
Oh, it was more than that. It was like 20. It might have gotten to 35. Not good.
Again, we're not
It's all a
thinking about
blur.
it.
It's all a blur.
It is.
So our job isn't to think about that. It's to figure out how we can still get into the college football playoff.
okay,
after the
that's
fact.
true.
Well,
Okay.
one last thing on the game, and this is like because people who didn't watch the game, like who just saw the box score or whatever,
Good on you.
are gonna see this as like a completely demoralizing. Miami was a way better team than Notre Dame kind of loss. And if you watch this game, you could see that like early on, like Brandon and even Ian when he came in, they were shook in that first half, and like those turnovers like ended the game before it even started.
Do you think the issue was potentially the fact that we were using both quarterbacks and both kind of looking over their shoulders the whole time?
I mean, I don't think so. I think the game plan going in, there was no interest. Like, there was no like plan for Ian to play at all. It was going to be Brandon the
After
whole
the
way.
first pick.
No. It wasn't until he was like it was like pretty obvious he just wasn't.
Because
up
one
for
of the last
challenge
things that I remember was the stat that they threw up when they said that after his first pick, that was his first pick since the BC game. Like,
Yeah.
he had been very reliable with the ball in general. I would have been stunned if Kelly was really thinking about pulling him. Like, I thought it was kind of a dick move because pulling your QB is always a little bit of a dick move, but it got to the point where I was like, I don't know if he has a choice. Because
No, I
Nothing
think-
on either Ian or Brandon. Like, I'm not trying to say which is better, but I think when you're in that, like, it becomes a 2-quarterback system once Ian gets in. Don't you think both quarterbacks are kind of in a worse place mentally because of it?
See, I don't know because it's like Brandon. It was like okay, it's definitely Brandon until like it was like blatantly obvious he couldn't play at that point. Ian comes in and then it's like okay, I need to win this game now, and that's his mindset. And like maybe he wasn't ready for it. He was. I think he came in thinking he was just going to man the clipboard, and then it goes to the second half, and they were like, okay, we're going back to Brandon, and that's that. And he played like it. He played fine in the second half.
So you don't agree with the old adage, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none?
No, I do. I just don't think that we had 2 quarterbacks that game. I think it was you brought your backup in because you thought you were sitting your starter officially, and then like when you realized that he couldn't do it either, it was like, all right, let's go with the starter. And at that point, you were back to a 1 quarterback.
Gabe, thoughts?
That's just, I mean, that adage, man. I know we got to say it, but you got to throw it out. Look at it like Young in Montana, Roethlisberger and Charlie Batch. Like, these are iconic duos that you think about at the quarterback
Brady
position.
and
Kelly does like to throw it out there every single year without fail, and that has like worked for us in the past.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think it's like it's not a 2 quarterback system.
Reese
It's
and
not-
Golson?
Yeah, but it's like, but that was a 2 quarterback system. That was like
when Kaiser had to come in from Malik and
Yeah.
threw that pass against Illinois. back when things still mattered.
Virginia.
No, Illinois. Oh no, it was Virginia.
We haven't played. I don't know when's the last time we played Illinois.
Yeah, no, you're right. It was Virginia. Sorry.
Shout out to Illinois. Their viceroy is trying to be part of our team.
Basically, cool dude, nice guy. But yeah, so
Seems great.
I just want to be clear. Like, I think that the score and the final score did not completely illustrate how good of a team this is.
So for us to get into the playoff.
Right, something we actually
right,
like
yeah.
looking
So that-
forward.
Okay,
So,
sure.
alright, so let's look at each team one by one. Bama, we want them winning out.
Yeah, I mean that would simplify things. I think it's either Bama winning out or like some really craziness has to happen in the SEC.
Clemson.
They're probably going to lose to. I mean, hopefully they lose to Miami and they're
They
done.
lose to Miami, they're below us. Nothing
Yes.
else to think about it.
And
Miami,
they lost to Syracuse.
we hate you, Miami. We wish the worst for you, don't get me wrong. But
Despise 'em.
please win out. Just for our sake, win out. It'll make us look better. It'll get some teams out of the way.
And if you don't win out, can you at least just ship us some of the Coke? Because it's really dry up here. It's been a lot to try to cope with just the alcohol. The stores run out. The
we
good
need
shit.
Coca-Cola to mix it.
The good shit, we know you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola to mix with the alcohol.
Right.
Number 4, we got Oklahoma. They lose another game. What do they got?
Doesn't really-
I don't.
yeah, I mean-
I don't know if they can lose. If they will lose another game, they've got Kansas, which is a guaranteed win. West Virginia, who's ranked at 24, not a terrible team. Are they still?
I don't
ranked
know.
at 24?
Iowa State got into the rankings, but who would have thought at the time that that was anything other than a guaranteed win for
Yeah,
Oklahoma?
okay, but Kansas.
I don't-
Kansas is a different
yeah,
story.
I don't trust.
Kansas-
I don't
Kan-
trust Baker Mayfield.
Kansas is the
I don't
single
trust
worst
them as far
football
as I can
team
throw.
in the
No.
FBS.
And he's, head.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe they drop one to West Virginia. That's like ideal. Really, we want them to lose in the Big 12 championship game to probably TCU, I guess, and then they're both
Does that
two
validate TCU though?
Exactly, but they're both 2-loss teams at that point. So
Yeah, they're both below us at that point. All right, so
Hopefully below us.
to recap, essentially what's going to happen is Clemson's going to definitely be below us. Oklahoma's going to definitely be below us.
Okay,
These are
I don't know.
facts.
I don't agree with that.
Wisconsin,
Okay.
they lose another game. What are we looking at for Wisconsin?
Well, okay,
With their weak strength of
Wisconsin-
schedule, one loss.
Oh,
is that
you look
better than
at
us?
the committee is just waiting to punch Wisconsin in the
They
They're-
want to punch
they're-
them so hard in the dick.
They're like the fact that they're not in the top 4 right now is very
They
arguable.
hate them. They hate them so
don't-
much.
They don't want to give them any
I mean,
props,
they-
which that's an
nothing
argument for another day. But if they lose, I'm totally fine with them dropping back down.
They
to 11,
played
12.
no one. So basically, like the Big Ten is its own thing. Like it's like basically you want if Wisconsin wins out, they're in because they've won the Big Ten.
Yeah.
If we want Wisconsin to lose in the Big Ten championship to hopefully a 2-loss, maybe 3-loss Ohio State. If they lose to Michigan,
think-
do they still go to the or does Penn State then go to the
If they lose
Big
to,
Ten championship? If they lose to Michigan for their last game.
I really don't know. That would give them. We'll figure that out in post. Anyway, so that leaves Wisconsin with one loss. They're below us. The
Yes.
committee hates them.
Right.
Et cetera, et cetera.
So
Auburn,
Done deal.
hopefully Auburn loses to Bama in the Iron Bowl.
that gives them 3
And
losses,
they're done.
and
They
they don't
just-
have
they're
that.
out.
They don't have a huge win to look at.
Besides
there.
Georgia, and then
Yeah.
Georgia wins the SEC East, goes to the SEC championship game, and loses to Bama. They're out with 2 losses.
Do you think that? All right, so
Although if they win, then that kind of bumps up the whole marquee loss kind of thing, and it's not like one loss was really going to
But
knock
it's-
Bama out of the top
But it's
anyway.
more likely that like a one-loss
that leaves us at
SEC
5.
championship Georgia and a one-loss like Alabama probably.
Can't I
both
just
make
have
it.
Bama lose something?
we all want.
No.
that.
Can't I just like
to us? In the
can't I
world.
just like shove Nick Saban off the top of a parking garage or something? Like, give me something here.
I mean, you can. You'll probably
They have
be
to lose in
arrested.
the playoff.
Like, if we're thinking reasonably, I would expect you to not get away with it, but to also be applauded by some.
I thought
Most.
Don't push him off a parking garage. Anybody out there, don't do it.
that's my job.
That's for him to do,
Yeah.
and for you to,
Enjoy.
mourn because
We
he's
don't-
probably a good person in his personal life.
Maybe
We don't know.
I,
Not here to judge.
That's a lot for me to assume.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just looking at him.
But, I mean, while we did take a loss on the field this week, we were lucky enough to take a win out by the concession stand. You guys see that video?
Unbelievable.
You got some thoughts on that?
Win though? Like, can you run down the combatants in that fight and
Alright, so-
say
so
that
the-
we definitively won?
I don't think anybody really came
Because
out a winner.
If you look at that fight,
But Miami
they
fans
were
were losers.
they were sliding around on there like they were in the middle of the fucking Pirates of the Caribbean. Like it was there
that
was
the
no
impression
footing
I got, yeah.
going
But
on.
if you look at who was
in
there,
that
you got
fight,
two Notre
they
Dame
won.
fans. I
Yeah.
don't think anybody really
If you
did
look
fan
at
about
that
Miami
fight,
fans right there.
sliding around
Notre Dame
on
fans
there.
came out looking like the Fighting Irish logo.
True.
And that one dude on not on Miami. That one Miami fan
Would've been cool if it
got
was.
his shit rocked. He
True.
popped right back up, but he got
That's in
rocked.
that
I didn't
fight.
think-
They won.
I don't think anybody really looked
Look
like
at
they were
that fight.
Miami fans
Sliding
were kind of
around on
retreating.
there.
Notre Dame was on the fight. Like something had to.
The real loss, if you look at it again, there's I think it's the same guy who got dropped. He gets
Uh-huh.
dropped, and then the guy who did the dropping, he's just like,
That's
oh, in that fight,
Alright,
he won. He
I don't think
turns around,
anybody
and the guy
really
looks
looks
at
back
that
up
fight,
and gives him a couple
sliding
more in
around
the ear,
on
and it
there,
doesn't-
doesn't look like the other guy feels it.
Because he had like little, like he made me look big. He had some stick arms. He did not look strong at all. He wasn't packing a punch. He was like, it was like a little sissy slap.
He, he probably had little tiny Trump fists, I think.
I would think so. He definitely didn't have big hands.
Yeah.
Sad.
My
Um,
my takeaway is if you're fighting other fans outside of a football game, everyone's a loser.
That's true.
You don't know what started the fight. Like, what if he had said something about his mother, who was going through some tough times at home? You can't just assume.
That was a lot, man.
It's just we have to really consider everything involved.
You have to consider what if our mothers are going through tough times at home, and that just brought up some things that we didn't want to talk about here.
No, I feel bad.
Yeah.
So, to pivot away from that,
Everyone's a loser in this situation.
except for the other teams on campus for Notre Dame. You've got undefeated men's basketball. You've got a top 4 men's hockey. We're looking really good right now.
Hasn't men's basketball just played one game?
They played 2 games.
Oh, 2 games.
They've played
Okay,
2
sorry.
games
Sorry.
against, whatever you call
Top-notch
them.
marquee
Mount-
blue chip,
majors or whatever.
blue chip programs.
Mount St. Mary's
And DePaul.
and DePaul. That's right.
2-0, and they looked.
I don't know if
they
you-
looked good.
I don't know if you know this, but DePaul actually means of Paul.
I actually did know that. I took
Really?
Latin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's a fun fact for you guys.
It's
Pay attention
it's a,
back
it's, a,
home.
it's a school with rich
It's,
history.
it's the little,
DePaul.
the little bits like that is why you gotta watch through this whole rundown, not miss a second.
Exactly.
You learn a lot.
But yeah,
Well-
seriously, basketball's looking great. I'm never gonna look past football season, but it's nice to know that however this season ends, hopefully with a national championship, which is crazy
Definitely,
to say.
definitely
Very
with
crazy.
national champions.
However the season ends, we've got a great basketball program to go watch, in the winter, along with a great hockey program
Can we
that's
talk about how
now
good that basketball team looks though, specifically?
But, I
go
mean,
nuts.
basketball for every year that I've been here has been the main thing that keeps me from tying the noose around once football season ends.
I mean, there's got to be something for you. But
it's a great
year,
consolation prize.
this year in particular does look like a bit of a special team. We've got analysts putting us in the Final Four this year, which I've never seen an analyst project us to reach there. The 2 years we reached the Elite Eight, we were expected to get maybe Sweet 16 if we're lucky. But this year we're expected to make it to the Final Four. We've got a really good set of guards.
Well, I don't know about
pretty deep at point
expected,
guard.
but people are saying sneaky pick we
It's,
could do.
it's
Yeah.
a possibility.
But it's
Our bigs look
much
good.
more than we've ever heard.
Right. which is-
Two potential Naismith winners. When was the last time we had 2 players at the beginning of the season in the conversation for Naismith Player of the Year?
I've never listened to the conversation for Naismith Player of the Year, so I don't want to go
Yeah, you gotta ignore the hype.
really crazy on the record here, but I'm gonna go with never.
Never. I think it's a fact that none of us will look up, and we're not going to check after the fact, but it is a fact that it's never happened before.
I just want to say also on Halloween weekend I saw both Bonzi and Austin Torres at New Finney's, and
And how were they looking?
they looked great.
What were they wearing?
They weren't wearing costumes or anything. I think
They
that-
went
they
as
dressed up
they
as
went as
themselves?
Notre Dame basketball players.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense to me.
But seriously, shout out to the
That's
basketball
what
team. We love them. We got to see TJ and Rex take over the snap last weekend. That was really cool.
True.
And I think we'd be remiss to not mention the women's basketball team,
That we
which
I
is
mean,
our best
Amazing
team
results.
year
Sake,
in,
yeah.
year in, year out. I feel like we just don't no, the fans pay enough attention. Us as we don't as
I like
males.
I
don't.
like immediately washing our hands of the problem. Maybe we should pay more. Nah, fuck it.
No,
They're
there
fine.
is a fan base that pays attention. I feel like not enough guys are paying attention to the fact that they're really good year in, year out.
Yeah, they are.
And
They
there's
are a
always space.
sensation.
Yeah.
Fidget spinner was just dropped off screen, just for those of you paying attention
Yeah.
back home.
Fucking
That-
bored out of my fucking
That
mind.
hit you right in the tip. That hit you right in the tip of the dick, didn't it?
No, I got it right here.
Yeah.
On,
Right.
where's the tip of your
I
penis?
thought it was right there.
Some of us have big dicks. Not me, don't get me wrong, but
Your big dicks
take it
go,
for a walk,
like,
man.
Up,
Well, if you tuck it in the waistband.
Yeah. You ever got a boner during class, dude?
you took it in
Did
your
you not take math
Tuck it
growing
in
up?
your waistband? Oh man, I almost blew a load in my belly button.
And that's the rundown!
If I had a nickel.
Never seen.
You're really